Good evening, citizens. On the Obsidian forums that I've been looking at for, I guess, about 26 days, previewing a plugin called Obsidian Typing. And then it was just basically released in a beta version. It's not in the Community Plugins official installation menu yet. And I want to give it a little try. We're going to do a little live demo. I'm going to go through the installation. I'm going to mess around with it for a bit. It's got like a tutorial type of thing on how to do some stuff. We'll see how this goes. So what does Obsidian Typing do? Obsidian Typing allows you to define specific types of notes for group-based customizations. By associating a note type with a name and folder, all notes within that folder adopt this type. New notes of this type are automatically directed to the designated folder. Some of the features: configuration as code. Obsidian Typing Language, OTL, can intuitively and powerfully configure and categorize your notes. Field types ensure consistent structure across notes by precisely defining field names and types for each note. I assume that means automatically manipulating the front matter of a given note based on the parameters you set, I think. Headers and footers, this one's kind of interesting. Eliminate repetitive templates with auto-generated content that gets added during render time. So links to, MOCs or index notes or whatever at the top of different things. You see this almost universally for calendar-based notes like daily notes, weekly notes that will have templater or whatever plugin automatically put in previous dates and next dates, so you've got this kind of breadcrumb, like clicky across all of your daily notes. So if you do like to have like a little set of links across certain notes, you can add stuff to that without having to go back and manually add new links or change the way the links are worded or formatted or whatever. It'll do that for you. Interactive links. Upgrade your links by turning them into custom React components. React is some JavaScript thing. That's about the extent of it, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see what that actually means. Name prefixes. Establish consistent naming conventions. So what are some of the uses for it, presumably? Databases, catalog movies, books, papers, creating types of specific fields. Study organization, habit tracking, work management, create interconnected systems that bridge issues, projects, and other note types. And custom knowledge systems, customize Obsidian to your needs, be it crafting semantic wikis, charting ancestries, or undertaking other specialized projects. My gut feeling, when I was going through the documentation a couple weeks ago, whenever I went through it, because this guy, konodyuk, Konodyuk. So this person, they put out a documentation website. I wasn't sure at the time if this was like, this is what I want to make or this is what I have made. But I guess this was just like, he made it. He released the documentation so people could look at it and make suggestions as he was going through and building it. And we've got the plugin, and some of the screenshots look a little not scary. Like, I'm not scared by stuff like this. I like stuff like this. But then you get like, here's like literally just code, which again I'm not scared by. I think a lot of people probably will be. But I think one of the things he said was that there's going to be a way for people to build stuff and then share it with other users of the plugin easily, which I think could alleviate a lot of the reactions people might get from looking at some of these screenshots. But I mean, like something like this basically just looks like the tasks plugin, almost. It's like not too overwhelming, but my gut would be that this is a plugin that if you do go all in on it, the value that you get from it is going to have to be so high, because it seems like it might be the plugin where it's like, okay, these notes as plain text markdown files on my hard drive, not as useful anymore without this plugin and Obsidian working together with it. That's what it feels like to me, but I don't know that for sure. Effortlessly import OTL types and JTSX symbols with intuitive syntax. Full-featured OTL editor. Community packages. So an ecosystem of packages awaits. Create them to share your vision or to install to improve your workflow. So with all that said, I am very excited for this, especially the sharing part. I'm all about sharing. I think people sharing, their creations is why Obsidian is so special. So, yeah, I'm excited. I have a very fresh, brand new vault. Brand new Obsidian vault. We got nothing going on. So to install this, you have to go through the BRAT plugin, which is a plugin that you feed it a GitHub URL, and it will pull the Obsidian plugin to your installation, into your vault there. I've never actually used it before, but I know that it's a pretty commonly used plugin for people to, share plugins before they're officially added into the community. Add a beta plugin for testing. Paste the Obsidian Typing one. Add plugin. Plugin has been registered with BRAT. You may still need to enable it in the community plugin list. Typing. Okay, got some do too much. Headers and footers preview mode, live preview mode, icon fonts. I guess we'll enable icon fonts because icons are great. All right, let's go through the quick start. Okay, this guide outlines the foundational steps for configuring our plugin, ensuring you're equipped to utilize its core features. I want to be equipped. Okay, so we're going to establish a basic movie management subsystem. Configuration file, the root schema of your vault, which serves as the primary configuration for the plugin, typing.otl. Create root schema. Boom. Typing.otl, we got it right there. It's that simple. Alright, it's completely blank. Let's completely blank. Okay, type declaration movie. To start, define the movie type. To make this type functional, you must assign it to a specific folder. Okay, so you define a type, you give that type a folder. Presumably all the notes in there are going to automatically get that type. This plugin relies on the designated folders to identify and process notes based on their respective types. Okay, so we'll give it a folder, type create command. The movie type will be available for selection. So at least so every specific type needs to be in its own folder. I don't know if that means that you can mix and match types. You can't have a note have multiple types, presumably. But if it's folder based and it's like a traditional actual folder based in a computer system, generally that's just going to be one folder for it. Now we've got an icon for it and a prefix. Prefix presumably for the notes. Okay, notes of the movie type will be prefixed with MOV. For dynamic prefixing options, including time and serial numbers referred to our walkthrough. Okay, I'm going to do one just as the walkthrough is, then I'm going to get rid of the prefix and I'll try and make another movie and see if it works fine. I wonder if you use the prefix, can you put them in, can you have multiple types? Notes of multiple types in one folder if you have unique prefixes. My bet is probably not for that one. The prefix is probably optional, but you probably can't have one folder with different types in it, is what I would guess, but I don't know. Let's see. Okay, adding metadata to the movie type. The versatility of a type is enhanced by its metadata. All right, let's pop all this in here. All right, we've got some little indicators of presumably issues. Tag requires data view. Okay. Gotcha. I'll take care of that in a second, buddy. I don't know why there's that box there. No, can't get rid of it, I guess. All right. So, type movie. We got the little curly braces. Okay, folder, icon, which is those the ones that I enabled in the settings. Prefix, MRV. So these are the different fields that we're going to add to our movie note type. Choice, planned or watched. So I wonder if that's pop-up that you change, or if that's literally something you click. I don't know how much UI is implemented in this. I don't know if it's going to be like a modal that pops up just when it's created, or in the note if there's going to be something you can like click and select from. But we're going to have a choice of either planned or watched, and it looks like it's going to default to planned. Priority, number 1 through 5, defaulted at 2. Rating, a number of 1 through 10 with no default, it looks like. Country tag, dynamic true. Year, a number, 1990 to 2100. Director, okay, so cast list, tags list. Let's go and let's grab Dataview. Boom. Alright. If I click back out of this, we still got red dots. Let's close that and let's open it again. No more red dots. There we go. Perfection. Back to the quick start. Creating a movie app. With the movie type established, you can now create a view note to use as an entry point to the movie management subsystem. Listen, I don't know how much I've talked about it before, but I'm all about subsystems. It's one of my favorite things. So let's pop this in an actual note. Alright, there we go. We got a nice couple tables there. We got our typing.otl right here. Next steps. You have successfully configured a basic movie management subsystem with our plugin. Okay, I guess we're going to the walkthrough. Okay. Walkthrough is on the to-do list. Alright, let's go typing new. No results found. Oh, typing create. What was that new thing in? Was there a create? Create root schema. Create new OTL file. New. There's no create. Yeah, that seems like I should probably create the folder, right? That would make sense. Okay, let's see what happens if I try this now. So we've got the OTL, which defines the folder for the movie thing as typed/movies. We have typed, we have movies. Alright, that seems like all we would have to do then, right? Boom. Okay, well there is no typing create. Type name, fields. Let me close Obsidian. And let me reopen it. And let's just see what happens. Maybe that's all it needs to be done. So typing new. Oh, there we go. Okay. We got movie there. I guess clicking those things doesn't actually install the fonts, because it's just a little box, but okay. So I guess after changing your OTL file, you might have to maybe just disabling and re-enabling the plugin is enough, but okay, so we've got a modal up here. We've got a little modal. We've got, so right here, it's got MOV, that's the prefix we chose. Note title, note content. So we can start typing stuff in here. That's awesome. I like this is kind of like an all-in-one little menu. I like that. Status planned. If I click it, we got both drop down. We got a drop down with both options right here. Watched, planned, watched. Okay, priority. I don't know what that would mean in this case. Like, I guess it doesn't apply to watched stuff. I guess it would only apply to planned, but I'll keep it. Rating. So obviously, this is going to be, let's make a note. Obviously, that's an 8. Oh, ooh, do I like this? Oh, what just happened? Oh, I don't like it. Planned, rating, obviously an 8. So, country, I wonder if this will, be an option to just click on for, notes going forward. So, you can't use your scroll wheel. Can you use the down arrow? You can use the down arrow. And the up and down arrows control a separate selector from what your mouse is. I don't know if you can see that. So if I click on year, I can go up, down, I can move that little thing, but then also there's a separate selector. You can't scroll up or down. You can click on the arrow, but you have to. Well, at least it scrolls, but it scrolls fast. Can I add more? Oh. Okay. I don't quite understand how this is supposed to work, the interface for it. Oh, maybe I just start typing again? Okay. That gonna I don't know. We'll see what it adds. Alright, create new movie. Now if we look at our vault here, we've got typed folder with the movies subfolder, and we've got MOV spawn. If we click it, okay. It just creates some inline Dataview stuff, it looks like. I should have done stuff in the content field. I assume because there's a line here, a blank line. I assume that's where the note content would go. So it didn't take the tags. I tagged it with comic book and necroplasm. Those didn't take. The director it took. If I click through to it, it also doesn't have the cast. I don't know, because that's a list. That was a multi-import. The director worked fine. That's just like director. It's either got one or doesn't. But the cast and the tags were multiple, and it was kind of confusing. Let's add another. Let's go back into the typing.otl. Let's get rid of the prefix. All right. Command palette. Typing. New movie. So now up here it does not have that little prefix. So I think that means that that's entirely optional, which is cool. Let's just pick a random movie. Note content. Okay, so this is actually not a one-size-fits-all menu. You cannot put anything in the note content. You cannot pre-populate it with content. It's a trick. It just looks like it, but actually, its only purpose is to make you feel like a fool. Rating obviously an 8. United States is there pre-populated. So I mean, definitely some UI stuff that's a little clunky. Create John Leguizamo. Create John Leguizamo. Create John Leguizamo. It just can't do it. So this is beta. Movie subsystem. Okay, planned watch. There we go. Romeo plus Juliet. Let's click on that bad boy. We still have no. No cast. Headers and footers. All right, I'm gonna mess around with the header and footer real quick. We'll see if I can do it, and I think that'll be it for this quick little live demo thing. For the sake of brevity in our documentation, we will use the term marginals to collectively refer to headers and footers. Headers and footers allowed you to... You just said that we're going to use the term marginals to collectively refer to headers and footers. The next sentence, you say headers and footers again. The next sentence should have started with marginals. Not at all indicative of the quality of this plugin. Listen, I'm pushing 40 here. Okay. I kind of get frustrated with a lot of things that are inconsequential in the grand scheme of the universe. It's just how I am nowadays. Headers and footers allow you to insert markdown content or custom React components. React, again, I believe is just an aspect of JavaScript at the beginning and end of your notes. And I might be, I mean, I don't think I'm wrong, but I think I'm not, I think I'm being reductive in just saying it like that. Because React is something that is always referred to when it's like a really, hefty and dynamic sort of implementation that's being done. So, like, it's not just JavaScript, obviously, especially since it has its own its own name. But basically, I think that's a decent enough way to explain it to people that don't know what it is, of which I am one of them. The distinct advantage here is the capability to configure marginals individually for each note type, offering tailored interfaces for notes of various purposes. Markdown marginals. When you simply need to introduce basic content element like headers, text lists, code blocks, utilize Markdown. Okay, so I'm going to add that style call into the typing.otl under the type movie. So under type movie, we've got the folder that those things belong in. We've got the icon that's going to use that is not loading for some reason. And that entirely is probably just my fault. I probably just have to install something, but I didn't look into it. We got all the fields, and then we're gonna have the style, header equals, and then an MD little block, some markdown content, and then end of the block there, curly brace, matching up. So if I open up one of the movies, in theory it should have a markdown. Now, not in the, I think only in the reading view. I don't think it works in live preview or source mode or anything. It should say some markdown content, markdown in bold, and then an invalid Dataview query, and then other content. So let's open up one. Let's, ooh, what's this? Actions? Okay, I don't know what that is. That's probably from, I assume that's from the plugin. Okay, so now we're in reading view. Some markdown content right there. Invalid Dataview query. Other content, and then we got this. Okay, I mean, that's pretty simple, even if all you need to do is utilize the headers and footers, the marginals, as some of us like to call it. That's pretty simple, right? I mean, if you don't want to do any of this stuff, you don't have to. Now, let's do a quick test. So, if I take this markdown note that I just made in the root of my vault, if I drag it into that folder, is it just going to get the header? Let's close it, and let's open it, and then let's go to some markdown content. So you just have to drag it in there. So you can just go and set up dynamic headers and footers for specific folders in your vault, and it's just going to magically pop into every note there. I feel like that alone is so powerful, right? Because what's one of the main issues I think a lot of people have when it comes to their vault evolving over time? I guess I'm formatting notes this way now going forward, but like I'm not going to sit down and devote whatever time is needed to like restructure stuff, right? Then I'll try and play around with it a lot. So when it's an official release, I can do something that's like here's some snazzy stuff that I can do, you know, and I'll show you more. But at the very least, you can retroactively, very easily, to any notes in your vault created however long ago, add some header and footer stuff to it, which is, I think, like I said, I think it's very valuable. Yeah, I'll have links down there if you want to either, you know, give it a shot and install it, or if you want to just go through the documentation and the forum thread and see what's up with it. It's it looks pretty robust in what it hopes to do. I don't know where it's actually at in terms of actual implementation in this beta version, but I will definitely continue to play around with it, and then whenever it gets an official release in the community things, I'll give it another looky-loo, and I'll show you any cool things that I've been able to do with it, or I'll show you cool things that I've found other people doing with it. Getting kind of late. Gotta go play some Starfield before I hit the hay. Gotta be at work early tomorrow. Gotta be up at 6. But there's always time for some Starfield, right?